What's going on, everybody? It's Pelfrey, and we're gonna have a lot of fun in this video. We're gonna take the Radions off the tank, get them cleaned up. They've been on the tank for quite a while now, and I've never touched them with anything. I've never wiped the dust off of them, never cleaned the lenses, never done any of that, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna thoroughly discuss this media tray that I had made from Octo Aquatics. I love it, I love it. I do have a little protein shaker here that I use every day to pull this out, drop it in there, cut another piece and drop it in there. We're going to discuss replacing all of the RODI filters in my SpectraPure unit. I'm going to replace the sediment, the DI, and the carbon filters. I'm going to also replace the membrane in those as well. We're probably going to touch on a couple other items as we go along here, but I'm very excited to share this with you. I was waiting to get back from vacation to do some of this maintenance stuff, and let's just jump right into it. You can see here that I got the Radions pulled off of the tank. Basically, if you haven't seen this before, I use an RMS slider with some 80/20 hardware to mount to my 80/20 to make it a clean and seamless look. Now, I was quite surprised. You can probably see here that there's some dust on here. I've not even wiped any of this clean ever. This is the top plate. There's some dust built up on it. This is the bottom plate. There's just a little bit of salt creep on it, but not bad, and the inside of it's pretty clean. I've actually not cleaned this light at all. The fan is clean. Now, my fans don't run very often, or at all, so I kind of expected them to be clean, but I've not wiped this one down or anything at all. The lens is pretty clean. I mean, there is a little bit of salt creep on there, but it's really not bad considering the fact that they've been on the tank for I forget how long now, but I've not touched them at all. This is the bottom plate of the Radion that I've already cleaned a little bit. And when I say cleaned, I've just used this towel to wipe everything off of it. And I've wiped the dust off of this one compared to this one in my right hand. Taking this apart is very easy. So I have this little bitty toolkit that comes in handy for this type of job. It has a driver and multiple bits that you'll need. And to take the top plate off, you actually have to have, I got it somewhere, this star bit to take this little bitty screw out. And this little bitty screw is actually recessed. It's kind of a neat trick. It's recessed into this, and then this actually screws into this. So that's very, very helpful. You also need a Phillips head bit to take out the bottom plate. It is held on by Phillips head screws. Had these been extremely dirty in the fan area, this was going to be my weapon of choice. I've used these things plenty of times. It's pretty nice because the intake has a foam filter. You can pull this foam filter out, clean it, put it back in there. But it is an electric duster and it pushes a lot of air. And if my kids weren't sleeping right now, I would turn it on, but it's pretty loud too. But this, I think it's like $70, but it sure beats a can of air, no doubt about that, especially whenever you're working with electronics. It's going to have moisture above it, and it definitely would have got this heat sink and fan cleaned out easier than some canned air. So aside from that, I'm going to wipe this stuff down, wipe the lens down, put it back together, and get it back on the tank. But I'm quite surprised that they're as clean as they are, minus the dust, but I haven't even bothered to wipe any of the components down that have been on the tank, and they sit high enough that, you know, the lens for the most part does not get any salt creep on it. This one, this front plate off this Radion came off very easy. I did have to use a very, very tiny flathead bit to get this one off, and what I done here was, when it was sitting in here, I just kind of poked it in there a little bit just to apply some pressure, and it did pop out very, very easily. So the interior of this light This is what I believe the RF module, which makes the Radion wireless. It's pretty neat. It's actually got a fuse in here, and it's pretty basic. You know, we've got some circuit boards in here, and that's that. You know, some wiring going to the fan. Got a ribbon cable for the lights, or the switches, buttons on the lights, and that's that. You can see it's stamped with the Ecotech label there. But yeah, overall, very satisfied with how clean the lights are. So I'm gonna get them put back together, cleaned up a little bit, put back on the tank. I'm sure everyone can relate to this in one way or another. Obviously, this is the garage. I want to start off real quick with my water storage containers. These are 2 40-gallon containers. And this is where I stick stickers that I get, whether they're reef related or not. And I kind of brought this over from my toolbox. Anybody that's had a toolbox has probably put stickers on there. Look at this. This is a blast from the past. Glass holes. And I got some stickers on the side here. But I kind of brought that over. I plan on filling this, and then I'll fill this one eventually. But anytime I get a sticker, but is what I mean as far as, I'm sure you can relate, is reef related. Red Sea Reefer sump, reef related. White vinegar, reef related. Usually have 4 or 5 gallons of that. Version 1 of the sump that I got. The, what is the name of that? Crystal Reef Aquatics. Yep, version 1 of that. I use this to fill up the ATO container. Then if we slide over here a little bit, more reef stuff. Buckets that I use for water changes or just various things. The top bucket has power head, pumps, you name it, that's in there. My first auto top off container. And this whole tote is full of just various items and whatnot. There's some Pinky filter floss. There's some more Pinky filter floss. 10-gallon brute for my water changes, and then some smaller buckets, and actually a gallon jug with Kalk water mixed in. And then back behind here, you know, more reef stuff. Lids and the refugium kit for the Red Sea Reefer sump. So what I mean, but I'm sure that everyone can relate, is this stuff accumulates quick. Now, this is spoken for. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, the Crystal Reef Aquatics version 1 sump. And I'm probably going to hang on to this just because I can probably use it at some point for something anyway. Since we're out in the garage, I'll just go ahead and show you in the UK Go Wildcat refrigerator what I've got going on in here. I've got some steaks, some ice, some whipped cream. This is probably all bad, but this stuff is awesome. And I've almost gone through all of it, so I need to go to my LFS. My LFS carries this stuff, and I did not know that. Got some Omega-1 brine shrimp. Got the marine cuisine. Got a couple of these. There's another marine cuisine there. And then we got the emerald entree. And I usually pick these up from PetSmart, but the LFS carries a variety of these frozen packs too. But I'm definitely going to pick up more of this. I have no clue. It's empty. Wow, there's Play-Doh in here. But it is what it is. I just happened to walk past the tank, and look what this emerald crab is doing. He is eating a royal grama. No clue what happened to that guy. I just happened to look in here, scoped out the emerald crab, and said, what in the heck is he eating? And that is a fish. I don't know what happened to a royal grama, but he's gone. To add to the royal grama, it's very hard to see here. I apologize for that, but I did find the skeleton to the coal eye tank. And I'm not really sure what's going on in the tank right now. It's kind of perplexing. Hoping I don't lose any of the fish, but yeah, it took some searching around, but I was for sure that this is the coal eye tank whenever I saw the skeleton. And then I later realized that that is the image that I saw stuck to my right MP10 while I was on vacation. Don't get me wrong, it sucks losing fish. I'm responsible for these fish, I get it. I don't know what's going wrong with them, but I will say that my cleanup crew is working, and all that's left is a skeleton. It's sad, but you know, I'll just have to pick up where I left off, do some water changes, get this tank right. You can see how dirty the sump is. I got some Pinky filter media here. Bought a whole roll of it, so this should be perfect. I'm gonna turn on that pump there after I get some media in the tray. Now, there's nothing scientific to this. I just kind of cut it on what I thought would fit. Let's see, this is the first time I've loaded it in here. And since it is a small tray, let's see if I can get it to fall into place there. So the objective, water is going to flow through that now, which may very well turn the auto top off on. I'm not really sure yet, but let's see if we got any. Yep. I'm going to get the pump turned on, see if we can catch some of this stuff. Got the pump turned on, and you can see it is filthy, filthy in here. And now the auto top off did kick on. So the objective again is to hopefully catch all this crud in the refugium section in my filter floss. And I got a couple extra pieces I'm going to swap out as needed. And I'm hoping to keep this stuff out of the skimmer section. Now I don't know if I'm going to run mechanical filtration all the time, but it is definitely an option that I want to have. This has been no more than 10 minutes. I've moved the pump around in this chamber to stir up as much of the stuff as I can. And look at it, it's already overflowing out of the top. I mean, this is pretty incredible. I'm very, very happy with this setup here. So I'm gonna swap out some floss and throw that piece in there. Let it continue to clean a little bit. Got a new piece in here. Still cleaning a little bit, but look at this. Look at this. I mean, 10 minutes, like I said, maximum. And this is what we got. This is amazing. You know, I've never been so happy about filth in my life. I got all the filters replaced. We got the first, second. I'm leaving this one out just because in the initial setup stage it says to leave this one out and run it for an hour. I got a new membrane in here and a new pressure gauge. So now I can tell the pressure on the RODI unit. So I got like 20 minutes left. Then I'm going to pull this cartridge and put the DI in here and start filling up the RODI tanks. I did do a total water hardness test, and I do have the correct flow restrictor in the unit. I've emptied both of them completely. I took them out into the yard, dumped them out from the top, so they're both bone dry. And in case I need any top off water, there's 5 gallons that I made and put right there. So I'm gonna fill both of these up, and I'm gonna have 80 gallons of pure RODI water. We got all of the filters replaced, the membrane replaced, everything replaced. I'm gonna flush it after I put the DI in and then start making some water. The current time is 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've been running the unit since about 8:30 this morning. Very satisfied with it and very thrilled that I have a new pressure gauge and I'm running it right at 80 psi. The water coming in is at 149, 150, which isn't bad. Line 2 is 001, and then the output is 000. So very thrilled, and quite honestly, let's walk out to the garage. I feel like it's making water faster. So this is kind of the setup that I have. This is my bucket of salt and some tennis shoes. But I tape the 1/4 inch line, put it under the rug here, and I go out to the garage, goes under this rug, then it comes up, and then it comes over, and I'm going fast. And then it goes into the container. So in not very long, really, I've made 22, 23 gallons of water, so I'm very satisfied with the output of it. I do have a handheld TDS meter also. I'm gonna check some water here. Probably drain 10 gallons, 8 gallons into the brute there so I can get a fresh water change done on the Red Sea Reefer. So yeah, you know, with it being a long weekend, I figure I should have this thing fill it up pretty quickly. I am thinking about getting some stickers made. Now, I have a couple of these left, but these are like a couple bucks a piece because of how I had them made. I'm thinking about getting some smaller stickers made, so if you're interested, let me know, because I'm not really sure how many I'm gonna have made just yet. I did play around with this design, and I don't like this design as much just because it's just too much red. I like this one, and it's got the transparent background. So yeah, thinking about having some stickers made. If you're interested, let me know. I know that this was a long video. My videos tend to be a little bit longer than I would hope, but to get everything into the video, it is what it is. I'm very happy with the two Tunze 6040s on the tank and the MP10s, provided that the MP10s stay on the back glass of the tank. I had that issue last week whenever I was gone on vacation. But I'll quit rambling on at this point. Appreciate you following along. Comments, suggestions, what did I do wrong, what did I do right, leave it in the comment section below. And I'm thinking about adding at least another DI stage to the RODI unit. Let me know your thoughts on that. Don't forget to check out the website, pelfrey.net, pelphrey.net. Check me out on Instagram at pelfreysreef, all one word, pelphreySreef. Catch you on the next one.